Hey guys, in today's video I want to talk about iOS 16.1. The software is currently sitting in beta 5. Now, judging by the build number and the amount of betas, this software will most likely be released towards the end of October, beginning of November, which isn't too far from now. However, I wanted to talk about in today's video one of the major issues with this software. And there's actually more than one that I wanted to share with you guys. So let's just dive right into this video. Now, as always, if you would like to stay up to date with the latest iOS news and Apple software updates, of course, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you turn on those notifications so that you don't miss another episode. Now, the first thing I want to talk about briefly is the crash detection activated by roller coasters. You may see a few reports on this, right, where your iPhone will actually activate the emergency SOS, right, if you got into a roller coaster ride. I'm sure you guys seen this news, this report. Now, I took it upon myself over the weekend. I went into about 2 to 3 roller coasters and filmed my iPhone actually to see if this crash detection would actually activate on my iPhone 14 running the latest iOS 16.1, and it did not activate. So either Apple fixed this issue or I didn't get into a strong enough roller coaster for this to happen. Obviously, this is aimed towards vehicle crashes, but roller coasters do go fast and stop quickly as well. So this could activate on some users' iPhone according to the reports, but it doesn't look like that's the case on my case, right, with iOS 16.1. Just wanted to briefly touch on that. Now, the next issue that I wanted to talk about, which is most concerning to me on iOS 16.1, is one of the new features coming to the iPhone, which is clean energy charging. That is found under battery and battery health and charging options right here. Now, this option is on by default and is obviously a good thing. Your iPhone will determine based on your charging patterns when to charge based on the clean energy charging that may be in your area to help reduce your carbon footprint. However, I noticed that this feature sometime would activate when I'm driving. I'm not sure why, but it looks like this feature has happened twice. When I'm driving, it activates, so my iPhone doesn't get the entire charge. And by the time I get to my destination, unfortunately, I don't have enough charge to continue with what I thought would be maybe 80 or 90% charge when I typically charge my iPhone, right? I get into my car, I have 70 or something like that. I plug it in. By the time I get to where I'm going, I should have anywhere from 80 to 90. That wasn't the case a couple of times with 16.1 and the clean energy charging. So yeah, I'm not sure if this is a bug within iOS 16.1, but it is concerning because the software will soon be released, and if clean energy charging activates while you're driving, right, because you're in a vehicle, by the time you get to your destination, if you're having a long day after that or a long trip and you don't have the amount of battery that you thought you would by the end of your trip or to your destination as you drive there, then that could be an issue. So yeah, clean energy charging is a great feature to have to help reduce the carbon footprint, right, when you charge your iPhone by learning your patterns. However, it could be a bug, right? This also could be problematic for some users, and it is on by default on iOS 16.1. So I'll continue to monitor that, but I've had that issue twice already where I plugged in and I realized that the feature activated as I was driving. So it's a bit concerning, and I'll continue to monitor that. But last but not least, I want to talk about one of the bigger problems with iOS 16.1 before I talk about the expected release date for the next beta. Now, the biggest problem with iOS 16.1 is battery life. Now, on iPhone 14 Pro Max, with the battery life that I'm getting now, is sort of concerning because I've never gone on a very long trip on my iPhone where I couldn't be away from a charger for the entire day. And I still find that by the end of the day, my battery always gives me the warning, or the iPhone always gives me the warning that I'm at that 20% before the end of the day. Yes, I make it through my day. However, I always reach that 10% before I plug in. And as I mentioned, I might have plugged in sometime during the day, and this continues to happen, which means that battery life on 16.1 is truly a concern as of right now. And yes, this software is still in beta 5, but as I mentioned, hopefully Apple will iron this out before the official release because the battery life just isn't performing too good with 16.1. So for those of you that are sitting on iOS 16.0.3, stay there until further notice. When Apple releases iOS 16.1, the official final release, I'm going to do a battery test to see where we stand in regards to battery. Obviously, it is beta software, and you shouldn't judge the battery on beta software, but we're getting close to an official release, which brings me to the last topic, which is when we can expect the next update for iOS 16.1 and when can we expect the final release. Well, Apple has been releasing betas every week, so it's a weekly release schedule at this point. So if history is an indication, obviously October the 18th, Tuesday, October the 18th, is when we'll most likely see iOS 16.1 Developer Beta 6 or RC, the release candidates. I'm expecting iOS 16.1 to be released towards the end of October or beginning of November. iPadOS is rumored to be released on the week of the 24th. So if that releases alongside iPadOS, iOS 16.1 that is, then we're 2 weeks away from an official release, which is concerning. As I mentioned, the battery life is very, very poor. That is the issue here with the iPhone, and I'm talking iPhone 14 Pro Max. Just keep that in mind. This is my daily device, so if you have a smaller device, this could be a bigger issue for you. Let me know how the battery life is performing for you if you're running the beta. I would really like to hear from you. Let me know in those comments down below which device, if you're running 16.1 developer beta. Thank you for watching this quick update. Of course, I'll continue to monitor the situation here in regards to battery. Stay tuned here to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.